Game 1 of the WCS Season 1 Finals. For the tournament that it has taken several months to complete now across the world. And there is SOS from Whirlwind Stars, your blue Protoss spawning at 10 o'clock. And his opponent, the fearsome red Terran, STX Souls Innovation.
That's right. And Whirlwind Stars, man, they have just been absolutely killing it as a team lately. I mean, having two players get to the semifinals is great. They've been destroying people in Pro League as well. And interestingly enough, here's a little factoid. It's not going to really, in my mind, have a big impact on the match here today, but the last time both of these guys played a TVP was against each other in Pro League, actually. So the interesting part there is that Innovation did actually win that match. Now, that's just one game, guys, and you can see in that last particular case, SOS did go 2-0 against Innovation too, so these players have a little bit of history. But I don't know, I think that's all in the past, man. I don't really feel like that's going to have a big impact on today, and especially with a player like SOS. The way he plays, you really can't even count past games as sort of like indicators of how he's going to do, just because he's so creative. He does a lot of different things every time. Probably one of the most reactionary Protoss players we have right now. Remember, I keep bringing this up, but it's so important. We talked to him yesterday. He said, and we see him going next his first year, he said that he likes to make players think B and do C. He likes to fake people out. Innovation's going to need to be on top of his scouting game. And with the Reaper first opening, I think that's kind of indicating he knows who he's playing against.
Yeah, absolutely. And a hallmark, really, of SOS's PvT play in the past has been those very tricky uses of hallucination.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll hallucinate a Colossus to buy himself a little more time, try and scare off a Terran who might be trying to push him, to make that Terran player think that he's going a tech route that he may not be going at all. And that's been a lot of his strength. And I think really, we talk about SOS's mind games a lot of the time, but we see them most at play, I feel, in this PvT matchup.
Yeah. You know, a lot of it is mind games, but a lot of it with SOS as well is just his decision making. You know, when to move out, when to do exactly what needs to be done. And that kind of skill, that sort of sixth sense, is something that really kind of separates champions from just good players, from just pros. And he's shown that, but can he show it in a 7-game potentially series against Innovation? That's my big question right now. I don't know if SOS has the stamina, so to speak, to go 7 games potentially against this Terran player.
And here we go, probes get pulled to deal with this pesky Reaper. It's managing to do a little bit of damage, sell it out now, but gonna have a hard time catching man with the jetpack.
Yeah, generally, if you're just on foot, it is a little bit tougher. But how about this for Innovation? Taking out a probe already, and you don't even need to do damage with this early Reaper. It's generally just for scouting, and you may get a second one here as well, but Innovation already getting a little tiny edge. Man, my voice is just going. It's been a long weekend, but it has been a very good weekend.
So 2-3 probes dead right now.
Yeah.
For Innovation, looks like he managed to grab the one in his base as well. They're scouting across the map.
Actually got another one, didn't he?
Oh, wow.
3 kills.
On that Reaper, so just a huge, doing some really good work there.
It says recruit, but those moves are clearly not recruit level Reaper moves. Looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a delay, guys, but look at the production tab right now. We have that armory on the way, so Innovation very likely moving into those Hellbat drops, and that's been just kind of the theme of the tournament, really. And Terrans have kind of just rediscovered, I want to say, this way to play, because there was kind of this little decrease in Hellbat usage after the nerf, but now, I mean, they're back in a big way, and we're going to see a lot of it today. We saw a lot of it in TVT already. You see it in TVZ. We're going to see it in TVP. But first, we're going to wait for this person to lag out, I guess. I don't know. One of our observers having some issues, so we may have to reset that things a little bit here, but you know what? That's okay, because these guys, the game is just starting now. SOS maybe needs a minute or two to sort of call that first. It's a little bit crazy. Sorry, I was distracted. They were typing something in chat and I was trying to read it. Yeah.
Well, we're back in game.
Oh.
Our observer has left.
Innovation, or SOS told Innovation to slow down. He's like, hey, slow down, man. It's just game 1. Don't be so aggressive. But I don't think he's going to get his wish, man. There's the starport as well. I'm sorry, SOS. You're going to have to deal with Hellbats, man.
He is indeed. And we were talking about this yesterday, joking around. Innovation, the Hell Batman here.
He's the Hell Batman. It's true.
Just taking out all of those other Batman pretenders,
yeah.
Just like in The Dark Knight.
SOS, man, he's such a random player. Sometimes he really is like the Joker of the Protoss race. We have Hell Batman versus the Protoss Joker here. No doubt. He's going to go for Robo opening and add on that Forge as well. So playing a little bit standard at this point, not doing anything too crazy like an early Twilight Council, DTs, no Stargate. So standard stuff out of SOS. But really, it's not about the build that he does. And we talked about this in some of his other games. It's more about the decisions that he makes while he's doing a standard build.
Well, Reaper fended off once again. The first 2 Hellbats are now out.
Yeah.
So let's see what his plan is right here. He's waiting for the pickup from the medevac, and he will go right away.
That's right, that's right. So, SOS is going to need to have those Stalkers in a good position to defend against this. There are cannons going up, too. Very smart, I think, of SOS. Oh, and he's going to see the medevac with this Observer, too. A nice start, but SOS, he has to react to this. He can't just assume that his defense is good enough.
And there we go, the boost coming after he saw his opponent. See that little ripple right there. Stalker's getting warped in to the main. And there we go, Photon overcharge. Those Hellbats going to get a couple probes, but not doing a whole lot. And that drop will be stuffed by SOS.
That Reaper actually killed more probes than a Hellbat drop. That Reaper, like, totally give him a higher rank than Recruit, man. I mean, if you can do more damage than a Hellbat drop, you are like the best Reaper I've ever seen.
They really should just put that Reaper in a Hellbat.
Maker Command has, that's true, that's right. Just let the Reaper pilot. He's like, let me show you how to kill some probes. There's the Twilight Council going up now as well. So the Robo, a lot for just some scouting, getting a lot of observers out. I think that's very important. We see that +1 armor being taken by Innovation as well, getting the Twilight Council. Probably going to be a lot of Charge Lot Archon action. And this cannon, man, these cannons have just been worth their weight in gold minerals for SOS so far.
So he's getting the support bay as well, so he will be teching 2 Colossus. And now the 3rd base for SOS, expanding aggressively while Innovation just trying to make those drops work, but he hasn't seen a lot of success yet. He will be transitioning into Bio.
Yep. Yeah, generally you do still see nearly all Bio from Terrans right now in Heart of the Swarm, and there we're pointing out the robotics facility and Blink added on. So a lot of stuff happening at once for SOS as he works on that +2 armor. But going back to Terran, yes, Innovation and many other Terrans generally do play Bio still in Heart of the Swarm, but there are little differences here and there. Obviously, Hellbat drops are kind of new. We've got Widow Mines that are also an option, and we see a lot of Hellbats added into general unit compositions later in the game for Terran as well. So there are smaller changes, but overall, TVP from the Terran perspective is still just about dropping, doing damage, and having strong mobile pushes later.
So Doa, how much will this Blink help defend against these Hellbat drops? What is this the reason behind the Blink?
I think it's a lot of the reason behind it, yeah, because it wasn't very common to get Blink so early in PVTs back in the day. So I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right that this Blink does have a lot to do with defending drops, and we can see it working already. And if Innovation can't really do damage with these drops, you know, will he really be able to go into a strong late game? Ooh, nearly toasting some probes.
And there we go. That medevac rather, nearly going down. SOS moving his Stalkers around, seeing if he can intercept right there.
Yeah. Oh, he's going back in, but the cannon is ready. And the Hellbats and the medevac do not last long.
SOS. It's really doing an excellent job of defending against these drops. He's lost so very little.
Yeah, I honestly feel like this is some of the best Hellbat drop defense I've ever had.
Well,
totally.
Just a great ring of vision around SOS.
The observers are so important to spotting drops. Here comes another one in the main. Oh, some of the probes taking some damage now.
And there we go. Just going to go ahead and target down that medevac. Make sure that these Hellbats will definitely die.
He did a lot of damage to that cannon. It's not going to last very long if Innovation drops again, and you bet he is going to. So SOS is going to need to be aware of that. Maybe another cannon is in order. We'll see.
So the question is, has Innovation given SOS too much time? We can see he's now researching Storm. He's managed to tech up. He's getting double forges, so he's been able to really get a pretty good economy going here without much damage on these 3 bases.
Well, SOS is scary, but what you have to keep in mind as well, too, is that Innovation has been completely untouched this game. So really, these guys are pretty even as far as everything goes. The upgrades, of course, are going to be fairly similar. The unit's doing a little bit less damage overall for SOS because of no attack upgrades just yet until we get that second forge going. But if he can get those proper engagements, the AoE will help quite a bit. What I'm more worried about than anything is that Innovation's medevac count, as you can see, is going to be a little bit lower because of all those drop attempts.
And there we go, another drop and another dead medevac. Stalker's going up there to clean up the Hellbats.
Yeah.
And then he'll return to mining. But
you know,
only 9 workers killed. How many Hellbats have we seen die in these drops so far?
That's the thing. He's been targeting those cannons now, too, and he's been dropping lately as well. And I'm a little bit worried that he's sacrificing 2
There's
medevacs.
a Templar here for feedback.
That's 3 medevacs. He gets 1, though.
And here we go, a bio drop, Marine Marauder. Zealot's getting warped in, but they're not going to be enough right now. SOS, on the other hand, he decides just to push out and go for an assault.
This drop in the main is definitely a concern. He's going to target down the Nexus, and he may be able to get it here, too. Yeah, I think he will. I don't know if Innovation's going to be able to stop this.
4 Zealots coming in, though. He's trying to stutter something. He will get it. He gets the Nexus. But at the same time, looks like SOS did pull back his army.
Yeah, nice snipe there by Innovation, killing off that Nexus, and I mean, it is going to slow down SOS's economy a little bit. He's already on 3 bases, so it could be worse. It's not like Innovation took out any of the really, really important tech buildings or anything, so it's bad, but it could be a lot worse. Now, if you look at SOS, he's getting that +3 armor already. His units are going to be so durable right out of the gate as well. He's still lacking in those upgrades from attack, but he needed those extra resources to use on tech instead of upgrades. So it's going okay still for both of these players. The upgrades for Innovation looking very good as well. It's going to come down to these late game fights is what it's going to be.
Well, we did see Innovation get a little supply block right there. Ooh, a little bit of a mismicro with that blink, and here we go. Innovation says it's go time, and SOS retreating up the ramp, firing Colossus shots as he goes. But this may be too much for him to hold.
Yeah, I've got a feeling, man. The second Colossus going down, there's way too much bio. You can see the Hellbats buffering nicely. The Storm not too effective on him. And I think Innovation's got this game.
And there we go, the last few Stalkers getting cleaned up. Innovation with an 80.
Of stuff with the drops, but he was getting so much information about what SOS was doing. He was keeping SOS pinned into his base, and at the end of the day, that just allowed Innovation to get in the perfect